Senators, I'd like to quickly introduce my niece, Laura Anderson, and her friend, John Bucci. They're up here visiting me, and please come on back and get a photo with us. We'd love to have you in the photo.
There's still no doctor. Are there any additional privileges of the floor at this time? Seeing none, messages from the governor will be deemed read. Messages from the Assembly will be deemed read. Senator Jackson, for what purpose do you rise?
My apologies. I must have missed motions and resolutions. Could we go back to that?
We haven't gotten there yet.
Oh, all right.
We'll
I'll
return.
wait till we get there.
I appreciate that. Thank you, ma'am. Again, messages from the Assembly will be deemed read. Reports of committee will be deemed read. And amendments adopted. Motions, resolutions, and notices. Senator Jackson.
Apologies for being so eager. Madam President, I rise to request that file item 13 relative to Student Safety Month be removed from the consent calendar.
Could you repeat the file item, please?
Yes, file item 13, 13.
The desk will note. Thank you. Senator Monning.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Motion
Senator Monning, could you give me one moment, please?
Will do.
Senator Jackson, that appears to be an incorrect file item number. Could you please give us the measure number? Is it
I
SCR
apologize.
70?
That would be, I'm sorry, it's file item 103. File item 103. My apologies.
No problem. Thank you. The desk will note. Senator Monning, thank you for your patience.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to request the removal of AB 1424, item number 88, from the consent calendar.
File item 88, removed from the consent calendar. Desk will so note. Senator Block.
Thank you, Madam President. At the request of the author, I ask that file item 96, ACR 60, be removed from the consent calendar.
File item 96, removed from consent. The desk will note. Senator Hernandez.
Thank you, Madam President. Please move file item number 33, AB 161, to the inactive.
File item 33 moved to the inactive. The desk will note. Thank you. Senator Allen.
Yeah, I'd like to request permission to remove file item 112, which is AB 879, Assemblymember Burke. This is requesting permission to remove it from the special consent calendar at the author's request for purpose of amendments.
The desk will note. Any other motions, resolutions, or notices? Thank you, colleagues. Seeing none, we will move on to consideration of the daily file. Second reading file, Mr. Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 182 with amendments, 656 with amendments, 746 with amendments, 1077 with amendments, 1475 with amendments, and Assembly Bill 451 with amendments.
Thank you. Second reading file has been read. Governor's appointments. File item number 7. Mr. Pro Tem. File item number 7, Governor's appointments. Mr. Secretary, please don't read. Of course not. Mr. Pro Tem.
Thank you, Madam President. Colleagues, these appointments were heard in the Rules Committee June the 3rd and were supported by a bipartisan vote, 5-0. These are Mr. Art Carter, who is a member of the Occupational Safety and Health Appeals Board, as well as Julianne Sum, who is the Chief for the Division of Occupational Safety and Health. Mr. Carter has served as chair of this board since 2009, and under his leadership, there have been much improvements during with regards to the appeals process. Ms. Sum has over 20 years of experience in the field of occupational health and safety. Again, these two appointments were supported on a bipartisan manner. I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Thank you very much. Is there any discussion or debate? Seeing none, Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. Aye. Anderson. Aye. Bates. Aye. Bell. Aye. Berryhill. Aye. Block. Aye. Canella. Aye. De Leon. Aye. Fuller. Aye. Gaines. Aye. Galgiani. Aye. Glazer. Aye. Hall. Hancock. Aye. Hernandez. Aye. Hertzberg. Aye. Hill. Aye. Wesso. Huff. Aye. Jackson. Aye. Lada. Aye. Leno. Aye. Leba. Aye. Liu. Aye. McGuire. Mendoza. Aye. Mitchell. Aye. Monning. Aye. Morlock. Aye. Morrell. Aye. Wynn. Aye. Nilsson. Aye. Pan. Pavley. Roth. Aye. Runner. Aye. Stone. Aye. Vidak. Aye. Wykowski. Aye. Wolk. Wolk aye. Wesso aye.
Call the absent members.
Hall. McGuire. Pan. Pavley.
Thank you very much. Ayes 36, no 0. The appointments are confirmed. File item number 8. Senator De Leon.
Thank you again, Madam President. Colleagues, we have before us several appointments. The first set of appointments are for the California Student Aid Commission, and they are the members of Lande Jose, or Ajose, who is being appointed for the first time. Nancy Anton being reappointed. Jessica Foresti, who is being appointed for the first time. She is a student, as well as Michael Marion, who is being appointed. The other appointments are for the California Housing Partnership Corporation Board of Directors, and that is Mr. Eric Kawamura, who's being reappointed, as well as Mr. Philip Ritter, who's being reappointed. All of these nominees were heard on in the Rules Committee on June the 3rd, received no opposition, bipartisan vote, 5-0. Again, the first set, California Student Aid Commission. The second group of individuals are the California Housing Partnership Corporation. Madam President, as well as colleagues, I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Thank you very much. Any discussion or debate on these appointees? Seeing none, Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. Aye. Anderson. Aye. Bates. Aye. Bell. Aye. Berryhill. Aye. Block. Aye. Canella. Aye. De Leon. Aye. Fuller. Aye. Gaines. Aye. Galgiani. Aye. Glazer. Aye. Hall. Hancock. Aye. Hernandez. Aye. Hertzberg. Aye. Hill. Aye. Wesso. Huff. Aye. Jackson. Aye. Lada. Aye. Leno. Aye. Leba. Aye. Liu. Aye. McGuire. Mendoza. Aye. Mitchell. Aye. Monning. Morlock. Aye. Morrell. Aye. Wynn. Aye. Nilsson. Aye. Pan. Pavley. Roth. Aye. Runner. Aye. Stone. Aye. Vidak. Aye. Wykowski. Aye. Wolk. Wolk aye.
Call the absent members, please.
Hall. Wesso. McGuire. Monning. Aye. Pan. Pavley. Wesso aye.
Ayes 36, no 0. The appointments are confirmed. Moving on to unfinished business, file item 13, SCR 62. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Concurrent Resolution 62 by Senator Mendoza relative to Portugal Day.
Senator Mendoza.
Thank you, Madam President. Members, I'm just here to SCR 62 is back for concurrence and proclaims June 10th, 2015 as Portugal Day. Some of the amendments were technical and clarifying. SCR 3 has no votes. I respectfully ask for your aye vote. Thank you.
Any discussion or debate? Senator Jackson.
So I want to apologize for initially removing this matter off calendar. This is a wonderful measure. The people of Portugal are extraordinary people, and if you have any questions, you can check with the good senator from Long Beach. But I, too, urge an aye vote.
Thank you. Any further discussion or debate? Senator Nielsen.
Years ago, I did qualify for the Portuguese caucus, and I still do as 1/8 Portuguese, but I think I'm the only one in it. In any event, a well-worthy vote today for aye.
Thank you very much. Senator, would you like to close? Oh, excuse me, Senator Anderson.
I just want to thank you for such a thoughtful measure in front of your wife and family. So good job, man. Keep up the good work.
Would you like to close, sir?
Madam President, I appreciate all the support for this wonderful ACR and for my family. Mr. Nielsen, next year we'll work on it together. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you.
For your aye
Please,
vote.
thank you. Please call the roll.
Allen. I. Anderson. I. Bates. I. Bell. I. Berryhill. I. Block. I. Canella. I. De Leon. I. Fuller. I. Gaines. I. Galgiani. I. Glazer. I. Hall. Hancock. I. Hernandez. I. Hertzberg. I. Hill. I. Weso. I. Huff. I. Jackson. I. Lada. I. Leno. I. Leba. I. Liu. I. McGuire. I. Mendoza. I. Mitchell. I. Monning. I. Morlock. I. Morrell. I. Wynn. I. Nielsen. I. Pan. Pavley. Roth. I. Runner. I. Stone. I. Vidak. I. Wachowski. I. Wolk. Wolk, aye.
Will you call the absent members, please?
Hall. Pan. Pavley.
Thank you. Ayes 37, no 0. The Assembly amendments are concurred in. Moving on to Senate third reading. We're going to begin with file item 17, SCR 7. Senator Fuller. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Concurrent Resolution 7 by Senator Fuller relative to Valley Fever Awareness Month.
Senator Fuller.
Good afternoon. I rise today to present SCR 7, which declares August 2015 as Valley Fever Awareness Month. California has seen a significant increase in valley fever cases over the past decade, and so have some other states as well. Valley fever is caused by air or soil disturbance of fungi, which live and breed within the soil. When the dust containing these spores is breathed in, the fungus can attack the respiratory system, causing infection that can lead to symptoms resembling a cold, influenza, or pneumonia. Because there's currently no cure, the fungus will always remain in the patient's body. Educating the public and raising awareness of this disease will help in the proper identification and treatment of those affected with valley fever. SCR 7 will bring awareness to thousands of Californians living with this debilitating disease. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Is there any discussion or debate? Is there any opposition to the use of a unanimous roll call? Oh, we don't have an established yet. Unfortunately, we haven't established one yet, so Senator Fuller, we're going to have to take a roll call. Perhaps you will give us the opportunity. Any further discussion or debate? Seeing none, Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. I. Anderson. I. Bates. I. Bell. I. Berryhill. I. Block. I. Canella. I. De Leon. I. Fuller. I. Gaines. I. Galgiani. I. Glazer. I. Hall. Hancock. I. Hernandez. I, Hertzberg. I, Hill. I, Weso. I, Huff. I, Jackson. I, Lara. I, Leno. I, Leyva. I, Liu. I, McGuire. I, Mendoza. Mitchell. I. Monning. I, Morlock. I, Morrell. I, Wynn. I, Nielsen. I, Pan. I, Pavley. Roth. I, Runner. I, Stone. I, Vidak. I, Wykowski. I, Wolk. Wolk, aye.
Would you please call the absent members?
Hall. Mendoza. I, Pavley.
Excellent. Ayes 38, no 0. The resolution is adopted. Senator Pan, for what purpose do you rise?
Madam President, I request unanimous consent to withdraw ACR 81 from the committee and take the measure up without reference to file.
Okay, colleagues, we're turning to motions and resolutions, and the desk will so note. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Assembly Concurrent Resolution 81 by Assemblymember Chu relative to Philippine Independence Day.
Dr. Pan.
Thank you, Madam President. Members, I rise to present ACR 81, which celebrated the Filipino Day of Independence on June 12th. We live in a state of tremendous diversity. There are 3.5 million Filipino Americans living in this country, and Filipinos comprise the largest API population in California, with 1.5 million in our state. In our country, the Filipino American community has made tremendous contributions from healthcare and business to literature and the arts to our country's military defense, and of course, our food. In California, Filipino agricultural laborers helped shape labor history by helping lead the farm worker movement that sparked massive social change in the 1960s and 1970s and led to better wage and living conditions for all workers. Today, the fight is for our undocumented Filipino brothers and sisters. It is estimated that President Obama's groundbreaking Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program has benefited almost 6,000 Filipino dreamers early this year. Pioneers like Jason Antonio Vargas, who is a Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist and also happens to be undocumented, have put a very real face on this issue. ACR 81 celebrates our Filipino-American community and its rich history, and I encourage our colleagues to celebrate with us. I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Thank you. Any discussion or debate? Senator Huff.
Thank you, Madam President. Members, I rise in support of ACR 81. I'm honored to co-author this measure to celebrate Philippine Independence Day on June 12th, which is the 117th anniversary when the Philippines successfully declared independence from Spain in 1898. It's appropriate to make special recognition of California's Filipino Americans and thank them for their countless contributions to our state's cultural, economic, and political heritage. Filipino Americans have played a major role in California politics. In November of 2014, 23 Filipino Americans were elected to state or local offices, adding to the long list of Filipino Americans who are currently serving in their elective or appointed capacities and who've shaped the development of California over the years. And many Filipino Americans have served with distinction as outstanding soldiers who fought as members of the United States Armed Forces for over a century and have sacrificed their lives in many wars, including World War II, the Vietnam War, and current conflicts in the Middle East and Afghanistan. Members, I urge your support for this important resolution.
Thank you very much. Senator Gaines.
Thank you, Madam President and members. I just wanted to congratulate this day and to also just share a story with my grandfather who served as the mayor of Berkeley and also had the opportunity, was asked by the U.S. government to help rebuild the Philippines after World War II. And we've got, I've got, in fact, clippings from newspapers of the era in terms of the work that he had done to help rebuild your country. And it's an honor to recognize you today. Thank you.
Thank you. Senator De Leon.
Thank you, Madam President. Mabuhay. To our friends and our brothers and sisters from the Filipino-American community, I apologize. I'm not steeped in Tagalog. I only speak Ilocano. Yeah, so with that, I have the deep honor and pleasure of representing Filipino Town, in the city of Los Angeles. And it's an amazing tapestry of so many different ethnicities from within the Filipino American community. And by the way, the great champion Filipino fighter, Congressman Manny Pacquiao, when he comes over right before Vegas championship fight, he always stops in my district, or he trains in my district, which is nearby Filipino town. So I just want to echo the comments that have been made by our colleagues here on both sides of the aisle, the special appreciation that we all have in the Senate of the Filipino American community, the incredible contributions made to our community. And for those who may not know, when my mother passed away at a very young age because of cancer, it was the Filipino women in the community who actually, because she couldn't cook, they would bring us food to the house, to the apartment, because we couldn't obviously cook. So I've always been very indebted to the Filipino American community. I want to say welcome to the Senate. Thank you.
Thank you. Senator Monning.
Thank you, Madam President. I want to thank my colleague from Sacramento for presenting the resolution, and welcome all of those who are with us today. I had the honor of knowing Larry Itliong and working with the United Farm Workers Union, Philip Veracruz, Pete Velasco, and other leaders of the Filipino community who helped build the United Farm Workers Organizing Committee and won the first election law for farm workers in the state of California. So welcome, and thank you for that part of my life that was incredibly enriching. Thank you.
Senator Pan, would you like to close?
I appreciate all the comments of my colleagues, and again, respectfully ask for an aye vote. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any objection to the use of unanimous roll call on this resolution? Let me back up. Senator Huff, you'd like to close as well? And you're not objecting to object? Thank you. Seeing no objection, ayes 38, noes 0. The resolution is adopted. Senator Huff, for what purpose do you rise?
Madam President, I'd like to welcome our distinguished guests from the Consulate General's Office of the Philippines who've traveled from San Francisco to our state capital to help us celebrate this momentous occasion. Please give a warm welcome to Honorable Consul General Henry S. Bensaruto, Jr. from the Office of the Consul General of the Philippines, who rearranged his schedule to be here with us this afternoon. And joining him on the Senate floor are Deputy Consul General Jaime Ramon Ascalon, Vice Consul Carlin Monastrial, Consul Reginald Bernalbi, Colonel Antonio Mendoza, Police Liaison Officer, Ms. Purificacion Molintas, Tourism Attaché, sorry about that, Mr. Michael Angeles, Protocol Consultant, and others from the Northern California Filipino American community. In recognition of Philippine Independence Day, I'd like to say thank you to the Filipino American community for all your patriotism. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much. Again, thank you very much for joining us today on the Senate floor. Returning to Senate third reading, colleagues, file item number 18, SCR 8. Pass on file. File item 19, SCR 11. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Concurrent Resolution 11 by Senator Fuller relative to Chiari Malformation Awareness Month.
Senator Fuller.
Good afternoon, members. Today I rise because last year I was approached by mothers in my district whose children suffer from Chiari malformation. This is a tragic disease. These mothers asked how I could help bring awareness in hope of eventually finding a cure. So last year I presented SCR 106 to you, declaring September 2014 as Chiari Awareness Month. This year, I continue my commitment to bringing awareness to this tragic disease with SCR 11. Chiari malformation is a congenital defect that causes pressure to the back of the head, leading to communication issues between the brain and the body. It is estimated that Chiari malformations occurred in about 1 in 1,000 births. Symptoms include, but are not limited to, severe dizziness, problems with balance, coordination, headaches, and difficulty swallowing. Unfortunately, there is no cure for Chiari, and treatment usually consists of multiple surgeries throughout one's life to reduce the pressure. Education, awareness, and research are our weapons to achieve this goal. I respectfully ask you to join me in supporting this resolution. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any discussion or debate? Seeing none, any objection to the use of unanimous roll call? Seeing none, ayes 37, no 0. The resolution is adopted. File item 20 SCR 15. Senator Fuller.